This is Copenhagen University, the oldest seat of learning in Denmark. In fact, it's one of the oldest universities in Northern Europe, founded in the 1400s. Today, it remains a world-class center of research and scientific endeavor. It's also a perfect place to celebrate the very best work of those scientists and researchers who've dedicated their lives to understanding the brain and the nervous system. And it's a great place to start the countdown to the announcement of the recipients of one of the most prestigious awards of its kind, the Brain Prize 2022.
The brain is enormously complex, and there is so much more we can learn. But it requires bravery and more than a little talent and patience to unlock its mysteries. We should therefore celebrate those who make groundbreaking discoveries, because their work can improve and enrich our lives.
Welcome. Isn't this grand?
It is absolutely fabulous.
Amazing room, the ceremonial hall, and of course, princes, kings, queens, scholars, you name it, have been here. But it's fitting. I mean, we're going to be celebrating the awarding of the Brain Prize later today. I want to ask you personally, how important is the Brain Prize to the work you're doing every day at the Lundbeck Foundation?
It's hugely important, and this is a day I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. And it's important because this is our chance, our opportunity to celebrate great science and great scientists. And it's also our opportunity to create awareness around the brain and how it works.
And of course, in a broad sense, the work that the prize rewards and the work that the foundation encourages is important for all of us. But what motivates you every day?
I know I'm not a scientist, and I never will be, but I do understand some of the human suffering that brain diseases bring with them. And we know how devastating that is, not just for the person, but for the spouse and the children and the whole family, not to talk about the burden to society. And if my team and the foundation can do just a little bit extra, that could potentially help improve treatments or even find cures, that is definitely worth getting up in the morning for. We're not quite there yet, but we've come quite a long way. And today, when we are celebrating the new Brain Prize winners, I think is an important step on the way.
Well, I can't wait to find out who the winners are this year.
Well, we'll have to wait a little bit yet.
We have to wait. This is the Lundbeck Foundation's headquarters here in Copenhagen. It's a bit of a grey, wintry old day, a little on the cold side, but in there things are heating up. This is where all the preparation has taken place to decide who should be the recipients of one of the world's most prestigious scientific awards, the Brain Prize. The winners don't know yet, but in a couple of hours' time, we're going to hear the phone calls where they're told that they've been chosen. The man who's going to make that call is Martin Meyer. He's the director of the Brain Prize. Let's go and join him and hear how the preparations are going.
Good to see you.
And you?
Come in. Can I get you a coffee?
I'd love one. Thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty cold out.
Yeah. How are things going? I was saying it's heating up in here. Do they know they'll get a call today, or?
They don't know, and in most instances, they don't know that they've even been nominated. So hopefully it will come as a complete surprise.
What's that like, to be the guy that gets to tell someone they won one of the world's biggest scientific awards?
Yeah, it's a really nice thing to be able to do. It's actually one of the highlights of my year, is to let the winners know they've won.
It is such a huge and complex area of research, a huge and complex area of discovery. How does the sort of idea, or if you will, the culture of a prize or an award fit into that? We
have prizes for great art, literature, great films.
The Nobel Prizes.
The Nobel Prize. I think neuroscience, great neuroscience, is as deserving of a prize. Scientists are very dedicated, talented people. And if it weren't for prizes, I think knowledge of their discoveries might only be limited to those within their immediate field. So I think it's an important platform to tell people about the brain and the importance of neuroscience. We're really down to the wire now. Very soon, the phone calls will be made to this year's winners of the Brain Prize. But before we go there, I think it's a chance to find out a lot more about the selection process itself.
Richard, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me in the old university library. Here's a fantastic spot.
Fantastic.
You're the chairman of the selection committee. What was the criteria this year for the selection committee?
The fundamental criterion is merit, and there are lots of different ways of trying to judge that. Have people made original observations? Have they introduced new concepts? Have they developed new techniques? And different prizes recognize different aspects of that. And we're looking at this from the point of view of, is it an important topic? You know, have the person or the people worked on something that really matters?
I'm astounded at how you ever get from I'm presuming, numerous applications and nominations of extremely high quality. How do you even start to pare those down to the winners?
This year we had well over 100. You have to read them carefully, and we read every single one. You know. So we start with the shortlist, which is typically, 10 to 12. So we then send those out to the experts in each field to get, are they the right people? Are we missing some other people? How reliable are their results? But we also think about diversity, geographical diversity, gender diversity. So that's a factor too, but it doesn't undercut the fundamental business of merit. And then we have a secret vote and work it out.
When you got down to the final crunch, was there an obvious theme this year?
Yes, it's movement, locomotion, getting about. And when you think about it, movement's absolutely fundamental. Some of it's simple, but some of it's incredibly complicated, from the baby's first steps, the precision of a concert pianist, the agility and grace of a downhill ski racer. There's so many facets to movement, and it all has to be controlled very precisely to get it right. You had this real puzzle of how does locomotion work? And what these three stand out as having done is identified the bits and pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. And by now knowing the individual players, it's going to be much easier to zero in on what goes wrong in, say, motor neuron disease, or what goes wrong in multiple sclerosis, or other kinds of conditions which affect locomotion and movement.
Well, Richard, we could talk about this for hours, but I can't bear the excitement anymore. Now it's time to find out who are the recipients of the 2022 Brain Prize.
Yeah, ready to go.
Okay.
Hi, could I speak to Ola Keane, please?
I'm just in a meeting. Can you call back in 15 minutes or so?
Sure,
or half an hour?
sure. Speak to you soon.
This isn't going the way we expected, but at least he's there.
Hey.
Hi, is now a good time?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have this PhD day. It was a little stress. I'm sorry.
No problem. So I'm just calling to let you know that the Brain Prize Selection Committee met on the 7th of January, and they've decided that you should be one of the recipients of this year's Brain Prize.
My goodness.
Yes.
That's fantastic news.
So, Richard, what stood out about all this work?
There are lots of different techniques in neuroscience, and Ola Keane is primarily an electrophysiologist. And what that means is that he's putting tiny little wires down into the brain and spinal cord and recording the activity, the sort of conversation between the neurons, and is trying to work out, what that means in terms of their control of movement.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that you're happy. It's really great.
My goodness, that is a fantastic honor.
He is the first person in the world to have developed lines of mice with what's called opsins. Opsins are like the rhodopsin in your retina that are sensitive to light. So he leads down very tiny fibers, not much wider than a human hair, which carry light down into these cells in the brain and in the spinal cord. And when he shines the light down onto these individual cells, he can trigger movements of forward movement or stopping or turning. It's really cool stuff.
I'm speechless. I didn't even know it was you when you called. I thought it was some sort of advertising thing.
All that's left for me to say is just sincerest congratulations from all of us at the Lundbeck Foundation and everyone on the selection committee. It's a thoroughly well-deserved prize.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody. It's really a nice surprise.
Bart, that was worth the wait.
Absolutely.
What a grateful recipient.
It's so nice to deliver the news. It really is. And that reaction was fantastic. 1 down, 2 to go. Hello, Martin Meyer speaking.
Hello, it's Sylvia Arbo. I've been told I should call this number.
Oh, Sylvia, yes. I'm calling to let you know that the Brain Prize Selection Committee, they've decided that you should be one of the recipients of this year's Brain Prize.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's really amazing. Wow.
So what was it about Sylvia's work that made her stand out from the pack?
Well, Sylvia Arbo is an amazing scientist with all manner of skills. But at her heart, I think she's what we would call a molecular anatomist. She's really interested in what cell connects to what cell, and she's developed and used all sorts of very clever techniques to work that out.
Thanks. Wow, that's amazing. I definitely didn't expect that.
She's moved back to this area above the spinal cord, a sort of control region, locomotor control region, and she's using her techniques, but also using some of these opsin mice that Ole Keen has developed to look at aspects of how you control different facets of locomotion. Very ingenious experiments.
Thanks so much.
Congratulations again.
Have a good evening. I certainly have a good evening.
Okay, great.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
Martin speaking.
Oh, is this Martin Goulding from the Salk Institute?
It is, yes.
Yeah, so I'm just calling to let you know that the Brain Prize Selection Committee, they've selected you as one of this year's Brain Prize winners.
Oh, wow. Oh, thanks very much.
Martin Goulding brings yet more techniques. He's what we call a molecular neurobiologist, but he's also a geneticist. And he began his career by looking at the way in which genetic programs actually build the spinal cord circuits in infant animals.
Sorry, it's first thing in the morning. I'm actually in New Zealand at the moment, so...
Oh, I'm sorry. Have I woken you up?
No, that's great news.
He's gone on to look at adult circuits as well, and through that identified specific sets of neurons. He's finding all the pieces of a kind of jigsaw puzzle that's in the spinal cord. In fact, I hazard that Martin Goulding did jigsaw puzzles as a kid because he likes putting the pieces together.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, thanks very much for the wonderful news.
You're very welcome.
What an extraordinary and exciting day, a true honor to be part of it. Huge congratulations to the very worthy recipients of the Brain Prize 2022. It's appropriate now, I think, that we hand over the final word to Lena and to Richard.
Sylvia, Martin, and Ole. First of all, thank you for your research. And then a big congratulations on being the recipients of this year's Brain Prize.
Ole, Sylvia, and Martin, and all your teams of amazing early career researchers, thanks for your fantastic research. And on behalf of the entire selection committee, congratulations.
It is truly well deserved. Congratulations.
I'd really like to thank the Lundbeck Foundation for this fantastic award.
I'm extremely happy and excited about this news.
I'm still trying to contemplate this.
Not only is this a great honour for all of us, but it also recognises the work that's been done in our labs and in many other labs.
And I'm so happy and so honoured that the prize is going to the motor field.
It is an enormous pleasure to share this prize with Ole and Martin, two colleagues and friends for many years.
It's a great honor, and I'm really, really happy to share the prize with Sylvia and Martin.
Thank you very much once more for this big honor.